Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Allie and welcome to the top comment where I read and react to insane internet chaos in the form of Reddit stories. So if you like this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe. It is totally free and it means the world to me. Happy Sunday, besties! We made it through another week. We made it through another weekend. We are surviving. We're vibing. It's gonna be a great day. This week has been all about Diabolical. And so that's what we're going to get into today. I've got some really good stories for you guys, and I have a Best of Redditor update as well. So we are going to jump right on into this mashup episode. And remember, if you've already watched Tuesday and Thursday's episodes and you want to skip ahead, girl, I got you. Timestamps are right down below. Let's get into it. Right, story number one, coming from Am I the A-Hole? It says, am I the a-hole for loading kids up on sugar at my 6-year-old son's birthday party when the other parents just dropped their kids off and left? This past weekend, we hosted a birthday party for my son, age 6. Standard setup, park location, party games, balloons, snacks, cake, etc. We had some cookies, lollipops, and drinks available, water, juice, and yes, Coca-Cola. Pretty normal stuff for a kid's party, nothing too extreme. Here's the thing though, most parents just dropped their kids off and left. Some didn't even say hi or check in, just handed the kid over and took off. Again, I don't mind hosting, but if you're not going to stay, I would assume you would trust what's on offer. Why would you just drop your 6-year-old kid off and not stay? Isn't that like a little too young to just kind of be left in the hands of other people's parents? I mean, I'm not a parent, so I have no idea, but comment below, would you just dump your 6-year-old kid off somewhere like this? Now, a couple of those same parents are apparently complaining that we loaded their kids with sugar and gave them Coke. One mom said her kid was literally bouncing off the walls and that we were irresponsible, says the people who left their 6-year-old kids at somebody else's house, trusting for them to just successfully watch over the kid. 6 seems really young to me. But here's what gets me. Every kid who was offered Coca-Cola said they were allowed to have it. Okay, now you're a dumbass for trusting what a 6-year-old says. Not one mentioned any restrictions, allergies, or preferences. Again, buddy, they're 6. Ugh. Meanwhile, my own son doesn't like fizzy drinks or juice. He only drinks water or milk. So it's not like I was pushing anything on him or anyone else. The food and drinks were just there as a help yourself style buffet. If someone had mentioned their kid wasn't allowed to drink soda, I would have absolutely respected that, but I can't read minds. And if you don't stay at the party or say a word about dietary restrictions, can you really be upset afterwards? So am I the a-hole for not micromanaging what the other kids ate and drank at a party where their own parents weren't even present? No, you're not an a-hole, but why are you trying to trust 6-year-old little kids? If you're gonna hand a kid a cookie and say, here's a cookie, do you really think that their little brain is gonna sit there and say, no, I can't have that? No, especially if their parents are gone, they're gonna look at you and be like, this is fine. I do this all the time. But in terms of if you're an a-hole for loading them up with sugar and then sending them home, nope. I think that's karma well deserved for these parents. I think what they did is irresponsible. Comment below. Would you leave your 6-year-old kid? Would you trust that they would turn down a soft drink if it was offered and they saw everybody else doing it? Peer pressure starts from a young age. But no, you're not the a-hole. And this is really funny. This is totally karma for these parents. Like, be responsible for the lives you bring into this world. Please. The top comment says, it's actually your responsibility to load the kids up with sugar and send them home feral. And that has 12,000 upvotes. I agree. They're only a kid once, unless it's like a major allergy. And in that case, I would imagine the parents would probably tell you ahead of time. And if not, that's massively irresponsible on the parents' end, for sure. Someone responds to the top comment and says, exactly this. That's the entire point of a kid's birthday party. And then someone else says, yup, you have to suffer through entertaining a bunch of snot-nosed little scoundrels. It's your sweet revenge at the end of it. It does feel like sweet revenge. You did a good job. I think karma would be proud of you. Someone else says, not the a-hole. If parents leave without instructions, they are assuming their child has a personal responsibility for their own rules. Not your fault if the child didn't do this, or I'm assuming was too young to be left with this responsibility from their parents. They're 6. Oh my God. Imagine leaving a tiny little child like that in charge of their own destiny for the day. Of course they're gonna come home all messed up and high off their rocker on sugar, but hey, at least you know it'll be easy for the parents once that sugar crash happens and that kid is out like a light for the rest of the night. Easy peasy. I say you did them a favor. The last comment says, not the a-hole. This was a standard birthday party when I was a kid. Parents could have stuck around or told you not to give the kids soda if they really cared that much. It sounds like they're just finding something to complain about at this point, but what you did was absolutely diabolical and I'm low-key kind of here for it. I think play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The next one we're going to read comes from Petty Revenge, and it says, my competitive friend was always insulting my wine, so I tricked him into sampling and insulting his own. During the pandemic, I started making wines, beers, and meads for all of my friends. At the time, we lived in a country where it was hard to get alcohol, and due to the virus, we were all locked out of our primary supplier for over a year. Primary supplier. You make it sound like it's hard drugs, my guy. No one could get alcohol at all. So I started brewing again after a 15-year hiatus, supplying my community, so to say. Well, it really irked this guy that people would trade me things for my wines and meads. It also drove him nuts that I knew how to malt and basically make beer from feed grain. No home brew supply shops within 2,000 miles of here could do this. So at every opportunity, he was just pissing insults on my wine. And yes, it was simple country wine, but well crafted using local fruits. Clear, balanced, strong. What the hell does this say? Wapatui? What the fuck is a Wapatui? Is what we used to call it back home. Oh, okay. His wife would back him up. I always thought this was strange because I was delivering trunk loads of wine to his friends and people who would hardly even touch his wine at parties. Anyway, we were having a sampling night, which is how I met most of my people. Are you a drug dealer? Is this all code for something and I'm just not picking up on it? So in front of the whole room full of people, he just pisses insults over this wine I poured. Well, I said, you made that one. I just didn't want you to feel left out. They stayed for 5 minutes max and all shuffled out. You must not live in America because the things that were essential here, liquor stores and pot shops. Yeah, I had to work the entire pandemic. I had to sell weed to people during the entire pandemic. Yeah. I'm still bitter about it because I didn't get those stimulus checks. No, instead I had to go every day. But you must not live in America because those things were essential. So I'm curious to know where this was written. And also, this guy is giving like mafia vibes. He's giving mafia vibes right now by how he serviced his whole community. Like it's very mysterious and very like dark. And then also the way that you tricked this guy into tasting his own wine. This whole story is just a roller coaster, to say the least. The top comment says, awesome. How did the rest of the attendees respond? And OP says, well, it wasn't hard to move my product after sampling that one. Wasn't hard to move my product. Bro, you sound like a mafia boss right now, trying to like sling drugs in New York City or something. I can't get past that. I mean, I don't drink. I quit drinking a year and a half ago. So maybe this is just how people talk about alcohol nowadays. I don't know. Sometimes you can't trust these Reddit stories. Sometimes you have an unreliable narrator. I don't feel like this guy's unreliable. Maybe just a little weird, though. Someone else says, not just spouting BS, but completely unable to recognize his own is just double sad. Good on you, though. There's like those wine people that go around and they like shake the glass with their pinky and then they like smell it and then they like sip it and they tell you that it tastes like, oh yes, it's giving whispers of a fine cherry locked in a French cellar during the French Revolution. Almost as if these grapes have been gossiping inside of oak barrels for the last 12 years. Someone else says, well done. Didn't sound like much of a friend to begin with. This really goes back to, again, if your friends aren't going to be happy for you and celebrate you, you don't need to be friends with them. There are 8 billion people on earth, you guys. Stop being friends with people who don't care about you. The last comment says, well, everything tastes like urine when all he's good at is pissing and moaning. Didn't even have the balls to stay through the night. Good riddance to both of them. Bye-bye. Lock him in the wine cellar with the dusty, musty grapes. This one tastes like the idea of a fruit salad. Oh, does it, Ken? Are you sure about that? I used to work at Ted's Montana Grill, and there were a lot of people that would come in for the wine like that, and I'm just like, I am gonna judge you. You know, this is my channel. This is a safe space for me to come and talk shit. So, if you're a wine connoisseur out there, what do they call them? What are the wine people called? Shout out to the wine people, but also, you guys are weird, man. I can taste the existential crisis of this blackberry from 2010. Shut the fuck up. The next story we're gonna read comes from a subreddit called Tragedy. Look how it's spelled up here. Okay, you guys have heard of like the influencers naming their kids Everly and effortlessly and perfectly, but Lee is spelled like Leigh. But you've seen influencers doing that, right? So there's a whole subreddit called Tragedy, and we're gonna get into it right now. My aunt is having a baby, and the initials just clicked. So about a week or so ago, my aunt had a baby shower. It's going to be a girl, and she announced the name, Willow. Out of curiosity, I asked for the middle name. Mind you, we have the same last name, which I'll just shorten to P. Anyways, I asked about the name, and it's Anna. I didn't give much thought to it besides contemplating it, and was going about my day. But yesterday, as I was about to fall asleep, I realized her initials are going to be W.A.P. I don't want to be evil, but I haven't told anyone yet. I'm hoping she'll realize on her own. If you don't know what WAP is, I don't know what to tell you. Go look it up for yourself. The top comment says, my little cousin's initials were going to be KFC. My mom pointed it out to my uncle, and he straight up said, no daughter of mine is going to be finger looking good. And then came up with a different middle name entirely. The dad really slayed for that comment. Like, let him cook. Someone else says, working in IT, and it took a minute to understand that WAP didn't mean wireless access point. I mean, it is kind of an access point. Someone else says, I knew a kid whose initials spelt ham, and no one would ever leave him alone about it once they found out. I hope the song will eventually be too old for people to remember by then. Yeah, fingers crossed. Also, I feel like kids in like the millennial era, maybe even like Gen Z, I feel like we were bullied for a lot of stupid stuff like that because kids didn't really have much on us. But now with half of these little kids being all up over social media, I think your initials are kind of going to be the last thing that you're gonna have to worry about being made fun of for. Someone else says, my best friend's initials are ass. I work in radiology where you put your initials on every bit of an official imaging, and I have seen them all. If it's offensive, some people just use 2 initials or X for the middle initial. Some people don't care as they are just initials. That's fair too. And I mean, maybe not everybody's a Cardi B fan, so maybe not everybody knows what WAP means. But on the off chance, I mean, I think you should at least say something to her and be like, hey, did you realize and do you know about this song? And then go from there. And if she doesn't care, oh well, her kid can change her middle name or her last name or whatever at some point. Hopefully she doesn't get bullied for it. Hopefully we can just raise a generation that doesn't bully. That would be so nice. I would love that for us, but I'm not in charge of it, so. Someone else comments, no one cares. Seriously. Our middle school teacher's initials are WTF. If it hasn't come up in middle school, it isn't going to. Really, no one cares. I feel like that's fair, but I feel like also some people would care. And I don't think you're being like mean by saying something and being like, hey girl, just so you know. If she doesn't care, she doesn't care, and you move on. Who cares? Literally. But she might care. I think it's always best to like say something, practice good communication skills. The last comment says, I would at least let her know. Someone I know almost had the initials KKK until someone mentioned it to her soon-to-be parents. They were pretty damn thankful. That's a good one. I feel like there are some that you should like definitely be like, yo, you probably shouldn't do this. That would be one of them for sure. WAP could kind of go either way. This one says, what's the darkest secret you're willing to admit anonymously? The top comment says, I once faked a pregnancy to get a man to leave me alone. He panicked, ghosted, and blocked me everywhere. Worked better than any breakup speech I've ever given with 12,000 upvotes. Oh man, the lengths that women have to go through just to get men to stop harassing and degrading them. I mean, you're either 2 steps ahead or you're 2 steps behind. Which one would you rather be? Someone else says, saw a coworker messing with an office key lock of a really shitty boss we had. I saw the shitty boss walk towards him, so I intercepted it and killed 5 minutes so he could escape. He added tuna juice to her keyboard. Ew! Why would you do that? What type of prank is that? Does it, I mean, ew! Oh, okay. It's settling in. That stench would never go away. You would be smelling rotten fish every time you went to go type. Hats off to you, whoever did this. That's actually really smart. They would never know where it was coming from. I wouldn't check my keyboard. I would like check my trash can. I would check under my desk. I would check the fridge. But my keyboard? Diabolical. Someone else says, a jerk cut me off in line while buying coffee. He paid via tap and left the counter without completing the transaction for tip. The person manning the register turned his back for a second. I subtly clicked 25% for a tip for the jerk when no one was looking. Don't rush out of a place. Just be chill. I think that was well deserved. Someone else says, sometimes when I type LOL, I'm not actually laughing out loud. What? People do that? When you type LOL, you're not sitting there. You're just sitting there like stone-faced? You're lucky it's anonymous. Someone else says, my sister, who is 4 years older than I am, drew my fire prevention poster when I was in 4th grade, and I won the grand prize in the poster competition. There was a trophy ceremony at the firehouse and everything. The girl who got the first place ribbon was in my class, and she knew I couldn't draw for shit, but she didn't say a word. I am so ashamed. You should be ashamed. You're a horrible person for that. You're gonna go to hell for that. Someone else says that my friends all scope my Reddit account and share it to gossip. I don't even know why. I still say my friends. They've been anything but. You guys, seriously. Oh, you have the perfect chance to troll them, especially if they don't know that you know. The next comment says, I'm a jacked construction worker, and sometimes, just sometimes when I'm home alone and the sunset hits right, I like to close the fridge door with my hips. That's a secret you need to take to your grave. All right, Mr. Fireman bodybuilder with the little emoji, you know, the one. Someone else says, I'm not always pooping in the stalls at work. Sometimes I'm just playing on my phone or want a moment to avoid my job. I feel like it's a rite of passage at a job you hate to go in the bathroom and do anything but poop on a break. Hit your pin, check your notifications, look at Indeed, find another job. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. And what happens in the bathroom stall stays in the bathroom stall. Someone else says, I love how these posts go from I use pre-bought cake mix and pass it off as home baked to I shot a guy dead in a Las Vegas restroom for trying to mug me. And then someone else says, Reddit's the only place where baking tips and true crime confessions can exist peacefully in the same thread and somehow make it work. I love Reddit. I love Ask Reddit especially. If you guys haven't ever just scrolled through Ask Reddit, you are totally missing out. It's a great time. I mean, these comments on this last post especially, there were some really good ones. So link is in the description. You guys should totally go check it out. So this one was originally posted on Am I the A-hole? And it says, am I the a-hole for cutting all contact with my family because of a prank? Now, if you know me, I don't like to be pranked. Okay, let me take that back. I will accept a prank if it's funny. If you're just f***ing with me and being mean, leave. We're not friends. If you prank me in a mean way or in like any way to hurt me or make me cry or anything like that, we're done. I'm never talking to you again. Period. End of story. So I really feel for this guy. This just wasn't funny. So I've posted a story on here before and I got some pretty good advice. So please help me. Here's what's happened. I, a 27-year-old woman, have always had a complicated relationship with my family. They've always been the type of people who think any jokes are fine as long as someone laughs, no matter who gets hurt. That's not the spirit of a prank. Over the years, I've tried to brush it off and not let it bother me too much, but this time they crossed a line and I can't ignore it. Recently, I achieved something big in my life. I bought my first home after saving for years. It's something I worked incredibly hard for, sacrificing vacations, nights out, and basically anything extra to make it happen. I was beyond proud of myself and excited to finally have a place to call my own. Hey, I don't even know you, but I'm proud of you because that's a huge accomplishment, especially in this economy. Girlfriend, you are killing it. Naturally, I wanted to share this milestone with my family, even though our relationship has always been kind of rocky. A few weeks ago, we had a family dinner to celebrate my new home. Everything seemed fine at first. They congratulated me and asked me about the house and seemed genuinely happy for me. But halfway through the night, my brother, a 30-year-old man, and my sister, a 25-year-old woman, handed me an envelope. They said it was a surprise to help me with my house. I opened it and inside was what looked like a legal notice stating that my house purchase had been canceled because of a clerical error and that it was now being sold to someone else. It even had an official looking letterhead, my name, and details about the house. I was in complete shock. Everyone around the table started laughing and my brother yelled, "Gotcha!" Turns out they had faked the letter and thought it would be hilarious to see my reaction. That's not a prank. That's bullying. They even recorded the whole thing on their phones to post on social media. Nope. Immediately no. Throw the whole family away. These people suck. They are bullying you. They're not pranking you. They're bullying you. They're being mean for no reason. When I finally managed to speak, I told them how cruel this was. Yeah. Cruel is a great word for it. Buying this house was the biggest thing I'd ever done in life, and they turned it into a joke at my expense. Their response?
You're so sensitive. It was just a prank. Lighten up.
God, isn't that just what narcissistic assholes love to say? They like to take it and say that you're being too sensitive and oh, you shouldn't care so much and you were just a prank. You. This is so mean. I read this part ahead of time. I have not read the update, but I'm excited to get there. So I left the dinner early, completely heartbroken. A few days later, I decided I'd had enough. This wasn't the first time they'd pulled a prank like this. Again, bullying. Over the years, they've humiliated me countless times, once ruining a job interview outfit by accidentally spilling coffee on it, another time pretending to lose my dog just to see me panic. Listen, don't fuck with dogs, okay? We're not gonna fuck with somebody's dog. That's mean. That's cruel. Right, Roman? Roman says yes. Anyways, I cut off all contact. I didn't make a scene. I just stopped responding to messages, blocked them on social media, and declined invites to family events. Now I'm getting guilt tripped. Of course you are. Why wouldn't that be the next step for these people? Now I'm getting guilt-tripped messages from extended family saying I'm being selfish and tearing the family apart. My mom even left me a voicemail crying about how much she misses me and begs me to come back. But I can't bring myself to forgive them. This prank felt like the final straw, and I don't see how I can trust them again. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for cutting off my family over this prank? Again, baby doll. It's not a prank. These people are bullying you. You're not the a-hole. You're free to go. Meanwhile, the rest of them, prison, straight to prison. Every single one is horrible. This is your family too that's treating you this way. And it kind of goes back to what I said in a previous episode about like, yes, your family is technically who you're born with, but also after a certain point in life, it's definitely chosen. And these people have chosen to be heinous, vile creatures towards you. They are acting like entitled little gremlins. This isn't a prank. This is bullying, okay? I am so sad for you because you worked so hard for this house and this is a huge accomplishment. And if it means anything, I am so proud of you. I think you're doing amazing. And I also think that you're really setting firm boundaries, which is so important by saying like, I'm not going to be treated like this anymore. It's very hard to leave an abusive relationship. I imagine it's like even harder when it's family, you know, leaving a partner is one thing, but leaving your family is, I would imagine, very scary. And so the fact that you're doing that as well, I'm so proud of you. I think you're doing great. And I'm really sorry that your family's treating you this way, dude. You so sound like you deserve better. And obviously we don't have all the context, but it really sounds like that they have been doing this to you for years and years. And, you know, it's really sad. So I love you and I'm over here supporting you. And I know the people of the Top Comment podcast, my little commenters, I know they're all going to feel the same way. So cut them off. They're horrible. I haven't read the update yet though, guys. So we're going to get into it in just a minute. But first, we're going to look at some of these comments on the original post. So the top comment on the original post says, you are rightfully upset because it wasn't a prank. It was bullying. There you have it.
It was just a joke.
Bullshit is something every bully does to justify humiliating people. They thought it would be fun to upset you on a big night and then take videos of it and post it on social media, and your mother is crying that she misses you? No, she had an opportunity there to rip them a new one about their behavior and about treating you with kindness and respect, and that she thought it would be better to go along with the prank. You deserve better than all of this. I'm glad you finally decided to call an end to their bullying. Don't let them or any extended family members pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do. I'm sorry they couldn't just be happy for your achievement. Congratulations on your new home. Not only did you gain a new home, but now you have so much more free energy to work on loving yourself, hopefully in therapy. And you are now going to have space for other people to come into your life and love you and celebrate your wins and your victories, because that is what you deserve. Update. I went no contact with my family. I thought they'd eventually accept my decision and move on, but that has not been the case. Uh-oh. For the past few weeks, my brother and sister have been trying to get me to see the funny side of their prank. They've shown up at my house uninvited multiple times, banging on the door and demanding to talk to me. At first, I ignored them, but it became very clear they were not going to stop. One evening, I caught them standing outside of my house with their phones out, recording themselves while yelling things like,
"She can't take a joke,"
and
"Let's see how long she can hide."
it felt more like harassment than an attempt to reconcile.
This is my own private domicile and I will not be harassed. Bitch!
It was harassment because oftentimes bullies will also harass you. In case anybody needs to hear this, no, these people are absolute lunatics. Call the cops. Call 911. I would call, so I would feel threatened. Clearly, if they've gone this far to prank you and then show up at your house, call the cops. Have them arrested. Get a restraining order. Go for it. I would. I totally would. I absolutely 100% would, because that's just unacceptable. It's childish behavior coming from grown adults. You guys, these are grown adults we're talking about. These are not children playing ding dong ditch. This is a 25 and a 27-year-old. Old enough to make your own decisions. The final straw came when I discovered that my car had been egged overnight and my security camera caught my brother and sister-in-law doing it. I confronted them through text telling them they'd crossed a line and needed to stop. Their response?
"You're so dramatic. You're so sensitive. You can laugh about it someday."
Oh, yeah. She's going to be laughing when you two are in jail, where you belong. Who eggs somebody's car? Who really does that? It is 2025. Stop. Be adults. Grow up. At this point, I realized I couldn't handle this on my own. I went to the police and filed a report for harassment. Good. They took my statement, reviewed the footage from my security camera, and agreed that this behavior was unacceptable. Good. My siblings were contacted and warned to stay away from me. Their reaction? More mocking messages, calling me a snitch and accusing me of tearing the family apart. God, just add on the layers of childish immaturity. There we go. Add on the layers of childish immaturity. Just stack it on top. This is ridiculous. Some of my extended family members are siding with them, saying I should have just talked it out instead of involving the police. No! No! Call the cops. Have them arrested. Get a restraining order. No! The whole family too. Throw the whole family away. Bye. You're starting over, OP. I love you. I'll be your family. But others, especially those who have seen the footage, are horrified and fully support my decision. You shouldn't have to see the footage to support this decision. You should just know that this is right based on what this person is saying. She's clearly traumatized from this. I feel a mix of both relief and sadness. It's hard to accept that my own family could treat me this way, but I also feel safer knowing I've taken the steps to protect myself. I'm focusing on building a new life in my home and surrounding myself with people who respect and support me. To anyone out there struggling with toxic family dynamics, you're not alone and it's okay to set boundaries to protect your peace. Thank you for giving me the strength to stand up for myself. Oh, honey, I'm gonna cry. I want to wrap you in a big old warm hug right now. I'm so proud of you. This is not easy, girl. I hope you find yourself in therapy because I really am a huge supporter of therapy. I know it works, and maybe just having someone to talk to like that could be really validating for you, but I love you and I'm so sorry you had to go through all of this. These people are absolute lunatics, and it sounds like you dodged a massive bullet, and I'm just glad that you're okay and your car's okay, and you know, I hope that they really stay away, and if not, I know you're gonna call the cops again because it's what you should do. And you are smart. You have brain cells. They are attached. They are functioning. There are plenty of them up in your brain. You're a very smart person and you're strong and you're brave, and I'm proud of you. So congrats on your new home and on your new life. I can't even imagine what it's like to have family as a bully. I mean, that just really cuts deep. You know, I have been bullied just terribly for like my entire life, and kind of why I like wanted to create this space was to like let people know that even if you're going through a hard time, good things are possible and you can do hard things, and life doesn't always have to be rock bottom. You know, just as like someone who's like, I've brought myself up from rock bottom. Like I was bullied really badly when I was in high school, and then I like went through a lot when I was like in college, and I never felt like I had a place to belong. And so the Reddit community, like what she said at the very end, that it's okay to set boundaries and respect yourself. You know, I understand that Reddit is just the internet at the end of the day, but a lot of commenters are so kind. And like, I've definitely used Reddit before as like a venting place of like, here's what's going on in my life. And I feel like in a way it's been a tool to kind of help me overcome the imposter syndrome of like, I can't have a good life because things have always been so bad. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. So if anybody out there is struggling, I mean, I love you very, very much. I don't know you. I don't know your story. I don't know what you look like. I don't know anything about you, but I love you. And this OP is very much right, where setting boundaries is so important, and you are strong and you do got this. Leave me your favorite emoji in the comments if this resonates with you. If not, leave me the middle finger and tell me to stop ranting. One of the comments on the new update says, may her siblings turn their pranks on their family members who supported them. Yeah, get a taste of their own medicine, but then don't let them come crawling back either. If they've experienced it, maybe you were the link that was holding it all together. Maybe you were just the common denominator of where these narcissistic bullies are going to take their hate out on. And I'm really sorry it had to be you. But for me, like, I call myself a phoenix because I've risen from my own ashes. Girl, time and time again. And I kind of feel like that's what this OP is you are a phoenix, girl. You've risen from your own ashes. People have tried to set you ablaze and you just come back stronger. And I'm really, really proud of you for that. Like, seriously, girl, cannot even begin to express it enough. You are doing some really great things with your life and you should be really proud of yourself. Someone else says, why do I get the feeling all those pranks are supposed to take OP down a notch because OP is succeeding, job interview, house, etc., and the rest of them aren't? Remember what we said last week about jealousy, how it manifests in these types of ways from people? Sounds like they're jealous of you and this is just meant to hurt you, so you are so much better off without them. Someone else says, she's the punching bag, the common denominator. That's why they needed her back. They'll eventually turn on each other without her. Good. I hope they do, and I hope they are utterly miserable. You don't make somebody else's life miserable and get away with it. Karma's gonna come, and you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna bite you in the ass. She's gonna take this and she's gonna stick it where the sun don't shine. I don't make the rules on that. That's up to karma. You know, if she comes a knocking and she wants to borrow this for these people, sounds good, girl. Just sanitize it before you bring it back. The last comment says, oh, they will turn on each other or on the parents at bare minimum. And suddenly the new punching bag will understand OOP's POV and come crawling back asking for forgiveness. Just wait a couple of months for the new update. Oh, we could get a new update on this one. So I'm going to link the story in the description below. So you guys keep an eye on this one. I'll keep an eye on it too. And let me know if you see an update. And if you do, I will totally come back here and cover it. I feel like this was one of those stories that just, it's cathartic for OP to be able to leave, but it's also so sad. And my heart just really breaks for her because, oh my God, being bullied absolutely sucks. And if you're someone who's ever been bullied, I love you. If you're someone who is currently being bullied, I love you. If you are somebody who has ever bullied someone, I hate you. You're not welcome on this channel. Goodbye. This is a safe space for everybody to be kind and love each other. We don't need hate in the world. There's already enough of that going around. So be nice to each other. Be nice to yourselves. Give me a heart in the comments below. All right. Our bonus story comes from Am I the A-hole? So your judge is back. This one is 2 weeks old. It comes from Am I the A-hole? And it says, am I the a-hole for threatening to divorce my husband over MrBeast? Didn't MrBeast just get canceled? Am I living in the right timeline? Isn't he like officially like canceled? Didn't he run like a cult or something when he was like doing his games? I'm really not up to date on the MrBeast lore. I don't know. I used to have a crush on him. I used to think he was a little cutie, but every time I see YouTube thumbnails of him, he's always got like the edited red devil eyes and the devil horns and stuff. And that always just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So comment below. What's the MrBeast tea? I think I should know. I think I really need to know. Maybe I'll look it up if no one tells me, but I'd really like it if you told me, because then I don't have to look it up. Am I the a-hole for threatening to divorce my husband over MrBeast? I, a 24-year-old woman, am seriously at my wit's end. My husband, who's a 26-year-old man, is practically deaf from DJing in his teens and early 20s, so he needs things louder to be able to hear them. But what I don't get is why that has to mean I'm involuntarily listening to MrBeast yelling about burying himself alive or giving away $10,000 to strangers at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Is this your husband or a 9-year-old child? He watches MrBeast videos on his phone at like 95 to 100% volume. Immediately no. The overstimulation is overstimulating right now. I hate that. Get a pair of headphones, dude. I'm not even joking. He'll put a video on while he's in the shower, phone just blasting on the bathroom counter, and I can hear it clearly from 2 floors down. And it's always MrBeast. Not different YouTubers, just him. Constantly. Same loud vibe, same chaotic energy every day. Ugh, girl, you married a I've asked him to wear headphones. There you go. He doesn't like them. Tough shit, buddy. If you want to live with other people. Let's just get through the story. I suggested subtitles. He doesn't want to read while relaxing. Okay, I hate him. I hate him. Divorce him! Divorce court is now in session. I even bought a small Bluetooth speaker thinking maybe it'd help if the sound was directional for just a bit better quality. Nope. Says he prefers it from the phone speaker. Oh my God, he's 9. He's 9 years old. He is a child in an adult bodysuit. After the 3rd time this week, I got woken up by "last to leave the circle wins $500,000 echoing through the damn walls. I kind of snapped and half jokingly said, if I hear one more MrBeast video at full volume, I'm filing for divorce. Now he's sulking, saying I don't respect his hobbies or his hearing issues. Oh my God. But honestly, it's not just the volume, it's the content. I think it's childish. He's almost 30. Why is a grown man obsessed with videos made for 14-year-olds with 0 attention span? I love him, but I just want peace and quiet in my own home. I'm tired of feeling like I live inside of a YouTube thumbnail. Am I the a-hole? No! Divorce him! You cannot stay with this man! You have to leave him! Please! I'm begging you. This would drive me absolutely crazy. Get headphones. I don't care if you don't like them, dude. You have to be respectful of your partner if you want to live together. What was he like before you guys got married? Because you're married, right? Did y'all live together before you get married? Please live with your partners before marriage. Do not just marry someone and move in with them willy-nilly. You will learn so much about someone when you live with them, and I feel like the living stage is make or break. And if it's break, oh well, leave him. Now, please. Before you end up crazy with that permanent eye twitch. Maybe he can go marry MrBeast if he's so obsessed with him. I have nothing else to say. My blood, though. She's a boilin'. The top comment on this one says, how can one person embody the single most annoying habits of all 85-year-olds and all 7-year-olds at the same time? He's a man-child. We should have put him in the man-child episode, huh? That's okay. Someone else says, my 9-year-old used to love MrBeast like 2 years ago. Even he outgrew him. Seriously, you guys, I genuinely feel like MrBeast has been canceled. I need to look up this lore. As soon as I'm done recording, I'm gonna go look up the MrBeast lore. I need to know because I feel like he got canceled, and I feel like he got canceled for probably a really good reason. And I feel like it probably says something about your husband if he is into him this much. I mean, this is like perpetual brain rot. Like, at least listen to something good. You could listen to Smosh. You could listen to Two Hot Takes. You could listen to the Top Comment podcast. I mean, possibilities are endless, babe. Someone else says, since he doesn't like headphones, the last solution is hearing aids. Oof. Brutal. Someone else comments, I wonder what he likes less, headphones or being single, and divorce fees and potentially alimony and having to split the house. I mean, headphones is definitely the cheaper route. Someone else says, not the a-hole. Needing higher volume for hearing is one thing, but blasting YouTube videos all day with no compromise is inconsiderate. You asked nicely, tried solutions, and he refused all of them. It's not about MrBeast, it's about basic respect. It is about basic respect, and I also feel like I forgot that this was an Am I the A-hole post, so out of basic respect to you guys, No, you're not the a-hole. Not at all. You have to leave this loser, please. It's men like this that make me want to be single forever. Someone else says, yep, this is it. Can you make a tiny sacrifice and wear headphones? No, I'd rather make your life miserable and slightly inconvenience myself in the process. Yeah, make it make sense. This guy is an idiot. Oh my god. Someone else says, but also it should be about MrBeast because anybody completely obsessed with this guy to this point is also waving a red flag. I should have looked up the lore before I started recording. Regrets, but meet me in the comments. We'll talk about it. I like hot celebrity and YouTuber T. Is MrBeast more of a YouTuber or do you think he's a full-blown celebrity right now? Isn't he like a billionaire? Someone else says, not the a-hole. Girl, you are 24. Don't spend your life with him. If he already doesn't consider your needs, leave him. Girl, I forgot you are only 24. You're really young. Go live your life, baby. I will tell you right now, as somebody who is almost 31, your 30s are significantly better than your 20s. You learn so much in your 20s that put you in a good spot for your 30s. Speaking from personal experience, you know, maybe it's not like that for everyone, but shout out to everyone who it is like that for, because I am definitely one of you. Imagine spending the rest of your life with this guy. What's he gonna get into after MrBeast? Coco Melon? You're gonna be driven nuts by this dude forever and ever and ever. Amen. The last comment says, he's a selfish, childish prick weaponizing his hearing issues. He can get headphones for f***'s sake. If he won't do that, divorce him, as he clearly doesn't give a shit about you. I am sorry. You have married a selfish man-child who doesn't respect you. I would be processing with divorce ASAP if I were in your shoes. I wish you well. OP, leave him and come back to update us when you're done. And I love you. And if you need someone to talk rationally to you and let you know how not okay this is, you know where to find me. Hit me up in my comments. Follow me on Instagram. Do you guys already follow me on Instagram? I think I only have like 140 followers over there. So go follow me. It's Spicy Ghostberry. It's in the description. I don't know. I'm really thrown off by this MrBeast thing. Why MrBeast of all people? What's his real name? Tyson? I don't know. Now I'm just talking shit. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say. I've ranted enough. My dogs are asleep. It's like midnight when I'm finishing this, but I'm dedicated. I love you guys. I'm delirious. I'm gonna have nightmares about MrBeast now. Jimmy! That's his name. Jimmy. Ooh. All right. See you in the next one. Bye.